We are 5 days away from Astros pitchers and catchers reporting to West Palm Beach for spring training. Give me that trombone, baby.
It's always Astros time in Houston. Are you ready to play?
A lot of people were wondering what it was going to be like if the Astros didn't win the division. I guess we'll never know.
We're counting you down to the Astros pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training in West Palm Beach.
Number 5, Astros Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell, who did this to my once hometown team and his hometown team.
There's a drive way back into left. Bagwell has gone deep in his boyhood dream. And I mean, it was way up over the Green Monster. Oh, does that feel good to him rounding those bases at Fenway Park?
Saw a little Walter Mitty on this. That's exactly what Jeff Bagwell's going through right now. He's having a lot of thoughts, I can guarantee you, going through in his head. All those dreams as a kid and a chance to come back here and launch one over the monster.
His dad brought him here so many times. Then the dream of being drafted by the Red Sox came true out of college. Broken-hearted when he was traded to Houston. Not broken-hearted anymore. What a wonderful career he's had as an Astro.
His number 5 is retired. He is in the Baseball Hall of Fame, the Astros Hall of Fame, 4-time All-Star, 1994 National League MVP, won a Gold Glove that year, Rookie of the Year in 91, 3 Silver Sluggers, played for the Astros from 91 through 2005, his entire career, hitting 449 home runs along the way. Obviously, Jose Altuve is the greatest Astro of all time. I would argue that Jeff Bagwell is the second best Astro of all time. I think he was better than Craig Biggio. Nothing against Craig Biggio, but Bagwell was a fearsome hitter at the plate with that wide stance that he had. Learning that he grew up in Boston, Massachusetts is pretty interesting. I did not know that. He lived in Connecticut after a divorce and stuff too, and that's why he went to Hartford to go play his college baseball. But it's crazy that the Red Sox drafted him and these bozos traded him to the Astros. And of course, sort of like Yordan Alvarez in that Josh Fields trade coming from the Dodgers to the Astros, I think the Red Sox, who did have some good first basemen, Mo Vaughn, David Ortiz eventually, although he didn't really play a lot of first base, I'm sure that they would have loved a little bit of Jeff Bagwell in their lives during the 90s.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm sure the tweet that announced that Jeff Bagwell has been traded got put on T-shirts back in, whatever, 1990.
Oh, yeah.
1990 or whenever he got
sucks, dude. I hate the Yawkey family. What the hell are they doing?
Yeah, but he really was. I mean, you mentioned the batting stance. All time tried in the backyard.
Yes.
And be like, how the hell does he hit 95 mile per hour pitching like with his body in this position?
I feel like you would have hip issues if you're constantly sitting in the stance the way they did.
Or knees, or your entire bottom half should be wrecked.
His legs were so wide apart. It doesn't make sense. But that's our countdown for today. Highlights from yesterday's Jose Altuve contract announcement press conference. He said that he considers Houston his home, that when he first came up with the Astros in 2011 wearing the brick red, that they told him he was only going to be second baseman for a little bit of time. And of course, he turns into the greatest player in this franchise's history. But we also heard from Scott Boras, the agent of Jose Altuve, who's also the agent of Alex Bregman. Per Boras, Bregman is, quote, open to hearing what the Astros have to say, but he has more of a normal free agency dynamic than Jose Altuve, which is not surprising because he's younger and because he's American born. I do think that it's a little bit different if you were born in the States versus born in a country like Venezuela or Cuba and coming here, as far as what you are looking for from a financial perspective. Is that right? Is it wrong? I don't know. in terms of like morally what is and what isn't. I just know that that is definitely a factor. So we'll see if they're able to offer him. I said yesterday, if Jim Crane is saying that the window is open as long as he is here, that the Astros at the very least have to make some sort of creative play at keeping Bregman around. That doesn't mean probably long-term deal, and I'm sure some team will offer him a long-term deal, but I would try to get creative and offer a short-term deal with a lot of money and see if he sticks around, because you got to keep this thing going as long as you possibly can. And if you let Bregman walk, who's replacing him? But also, we had some good news yesterday because Mauricio Dubon, everything is okay and hunky-dory. He won his arbitration case against the Houston Astros. He'll get $3.5 million this coming season. Dubon needs to be a starter. And it's weird that as things currently stand, going into next season, that we've heard from Joe Espada, from Dana Brown, that Jake Myers is seemingly getting the first crack at center field. And okay, Dubon's your super utility. He can play a bunch of different positions. But how about he's the super utility if injuries happen? How about that's when you decide to move him all over the place? I mean, this is Justin Verlander's personal center fielder. I don't know if that's going to stay in a post-Dusty Baker, post-Martin Maldonado era of Astros baseball. But Dubon should be playing on a regular basis after what he did last season for the majority of the regular season, obviously cooled off down the stretch, and what he did in the postseason. He was a more regular contributor in the postseason than you definitely expected. You need more Mauricio Dubon in the lineup. He earned it. Just like Chas McCormick with his performance in 2022, earned more playing time in 2023, which was a point of contention early in the year. Dubon's done the same thing. If you earn things on the diamond, you should be able to keep that spot, especially over in a 162-game season, until someone plays better than you. And going into the next year, do we really need to have like a battle between Myers and Dubon? We know that Dubon's better. Dubon's just a better player. Myers isn't even that good of a fielder, you know? You would think that there would be something that Myers has on Mauricio Dubon. I truly do not know what it is. Dubon's a better contact hitter? Dubon's better on the base paths? Dubon's a better fielder? What are we doing? I don't get it, but hey, Dubon's back in the fold. $3.5 million, considering what he gave you last year, is a bargain, especially compared with the likes of, Rafael Montero. And at times, Jose Abreu. So there you go, guys. There you go. That's going to wrap up our Astros countdown today, February 8th, 2024. We're 5 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting.